Greetings of world. How are you doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic day. We're going to be going over a quick start for crash landing. I'm going to use the easy route as an example, but I'm not going to actually use all of the items you get from easy route. I just want to basically be able to show how the shell constructor works and show you kind of what items you're going to get as you're playing through. Make sure that you put the shell constructor together right away, and I'll show you how to do that here in just a moment. The first thing we have to do to get started here is we want to do HQM quest, and that will give you the extra book and get your HQM active. So now let's go ahead and grab everything we're going to need from this chest right here. We're going to need that guy, all of this stuff. Now what we're going to take, we're going to put our oak sieve over here, take our crafting table, put it up there. You don't have to put it there. That's where I put everything. We're going to go ahead and take up our transposers, and this will give us our beginning to our quest. Now these quests are going to get banged out pretty quick. You really shouldn't waste any time whenever you're doing this, because it does every bit of the very first day, in my opinion, absolutely matters. So we're going to go ahead and grab a couple pieces of dust, run back into our shelter, and then let's see here. We're going to go ahead and manual submit. And like I said, we're only going to keep exactly what we would have from the hard route, which I believe is just 8 pieces of bone meal. So let's go ahead and do that really quick. And then we are going to go ahead and get our camel pack ready. Now all I'm doing here is I'm pressing W, and then I'm hitting the left click button. And that's actually shifting everything up into my crafting interface. We'll take our fluid transposer, put it back next to our quest delivery system. We'll put this guy away right in there, and then let's take a look at our next quest. We have the dirt one, so we need to get bone meal, which we already have one of, so we're just going to go ahead and manual submit. That was why I grabbed the second piece of dust. Claim our reward, which gives us a piece of dirt, 4 more bone meal, and then 2 more bottles. Then we move into our next quest, which we need to make dirty water. So we're going to take a bottle, a piece of dirt, that gives us our dirty water. Go into our quest book again, drinking mode. This is actually, or drinking mud, I'm sorry. This is the dirty water quest. So you go ahead and manual submit, claim reward. Now you can go back into here again. All you need is a bottle of water, manual submit, claim reward. Now this guy's a little bit tricky sometimes, but what we're going to do for right now is we're going to go ahead and put our dirt down here, and a lot of people will go ahead and actually grow your tree and all that stuff. We're going to use birch because that's what we get on the hardcore quest. You would go out here and you would grow your tree or whatnot, which we are going to try. There we go. Thank goodness. RNG is sometimes not with you, sometimes it's not. But you're going to go ahead and take your leadstone flux capacitor, put that in there, shift click all of that. That way you have everything just go into this as an orange output. Go into our quest book, and then we're going to select task, click on the QDM, and then take a bottle of water. Now, I'm not sure if the cold water will work. It does not. Just wanted to double check to save you some water. But we're going to take our water, and this will go into the fluid transposer, thus going into the QDS system, which is going to finish that out for us. So you don't even have to go the route of doing this. Now, I told you before, you really want to get this going as soon as possible. So place that down on the ground, take your leadstone energy cell, place that right next to it. And now all you have to do is make sure that whichever side you put this on, you see how this is an orange interface right here. You want to make sure that's pointing towards the shell constructor. Click it. You'll take a little bit of damage, but you can see 1% build progress has already happened. And like I said, we are doing as if we are on the hard route. This is the way you would start. You would have a piece of birch and I believe 1 spruce sapling. So we're going to go ahead and cut down just a little bit of this, and we're going to go ahead and make some crooks. That's going to get us more saplings as well as the chance of getting silkworms. So we're going to go ahead and bang that out right there. We're only going to do 1. I find that if you do too many of them, you end up wasting wood, and you're going to see what I mean by that. Now, we should at least get 1 sapling back, and we don't necessarily need all of the saplings, because the way we did our quest is different than the way the quest is actually supposed to be done. We didn't use saplings to get the water. We're actually just using water to get the water. So let's go ahead and clean this up as much as we can. We're going to be good to do this whole piece. Now, on the hard mode, we're actually going to be low on bone meal, which you'll see here in just a second. We're only midday in, so it's not too bad, but I have wasted a little bit of time during the explanation and stuff like that. Hopefully you'll have been able to run through this a little bit faster than I have. Technically, I think we would only have like 6 pieces left, so we're going to go ahead and just omit a couple there. There we go. And give it a couple bone meal. That's not going to work, so we walk away for just a minute. Let's see. Now we want to go ahead and start making ourselves our crafting tables, or our Tinker's Constructs tables and stuff like that. It's very simple in this mod to basically take and use sticks to make your blank patterns. So we have 4 of them there. We're going to need 1 more. So 5 all day. We're going to take our crafting table, our blank pattern. That's going to give us our tool station. We're going to take a piece of wood and a blank pattern. That is going to give us our stencil table. We're going to take a whole piece of wood, doesn't matter what type, birch, oak, spruce, whatever you got. That's going to give us our part builder. Now, I personally like to have these in the half slab form. I don't know why, typically because I just hang them from the ceiling as it is. So I'm going to go ahead and go stencil table, parts table, and then our tool station. Now we're going to go ahead and take the 2 blank patterns that we had left, and we're going to grab 1 shovel head, 1 axe head. And then we're going to come over here. We're going to put that right up top. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2. Now it's going to kind of glitch. You can see I only put 2 in each one. This one didn't show up right away. Don't freak out if that happens. It does tend to kind of forget or just not show up properly. So now we're going to go in here and we'll go to shovel. Make ourselves the shovel. And then axe. Make ourselves the axe. Alright, you can see our tree grew while we were in there, which is awesome. We're going to go ahead and cut down a little bit more of this. Maybe go ahead and grab ourselves a crook. Actually, you know what? We already have 2 saplings, so we're just going to go ahead and chop this tree down altogether. You can move the dirt. You can decide to do however you want to do it. If you want to move the dirt and then grow another tree while you can save all those leaves, then stuff like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start clearing out a little bit of this space right here and making my trench. I only do a 1 wide trench to get started, and you'll see why here in a little bit, because you do run out of durability on this shovel, and it doesn't take too long to actually do that either. Now for the very first day, I go ahead and just kind of clear out the back here so that they can't jump on top. Now spiders and stuff are still going to be able to crawl up on top, but it is what it is on that front. We're just going to go ahead and clean this up to where no other mobs can jump up on top and ruin our day. I'm going to go ahead and clear that out. Another very important thing you want to get done, because I don't actually do the mob griefing off. I know it's something that Iskandar himself has said to do, but I like the challenge, you know? I mean, if you're not going to play a challenge, or if you're not going to take the challenge in a challenging pack, then why play it, in my opinion? That went ahead and covered that off as easy as that, you saw. We'll go ahead and clean this up right here so we don't have any more mobs coming up. Probably going to lose a few pieces, but that's okay. We will be okay. It is an infinite world of dust. I think we'll live. Let's go ahead and head over here. We've got ourselves another sapling, which is excellent. And then we're actually going to still dig down yet. I just like kind of make my trench a little bit lower than the land that I walk on. And if we have enough durability left in the shovel, we'll go ahead and actually make another one. Or excuse me, go down 1 more level. I don't think we're going to have enough durability for today. My biggest goal right now is to get us to a point where we have plenty of dust to work with for the nighttime. Very important to have a good amount of dust to start with in the very first night, because you want to try to get to your cobblestone generator as quick as possible, and the only way of doing that really is getting a decent amount of stone together. Let's see where we are here. Probably could have gone over just a little bit to the left there, which isn't a big deal. As you can see, our durability is going down really quick. So what we'll do is we'll build up our wall right here, and then we'll go right along here. So now they're not going to be able to get in, and technically we can go ahead and do one of these numbers. They won't be able to get in for the night. And this will at least give you a good start. Again, you're going to have to worry about spiders, or if you have the special mobs AI on, they're going to throw them over. Gas will still be able to fly in, that kind of stuff. So this isn't, a permanent wall or an end-all kind of wall. There is other tips and tricks for that, and I can go over that in a separate video. This is literally just to kind of get you through the first day or so. And hopefully by the time the first day rolls around, which we look like we're getting pretty close to the end of, you'll have at least this much set up to save yourself give yourself a fighting chance for the first day. Again, you want to try to collect as much of this dust as you can. You can see we're almost out of durability. If you want, you didn't even necessarily have to do the axe. That would give you a little bit more durability on the shovel later on. Let's go ahead and clean that up, clean this up. And then eventually you are going to want to have this as a 2 deep no matter what. That way when the mobs fall down in here, they don't get back out. Let's go ahead and do this side as well for the 2 deep. Now we're going to have a little bit of an edge over there, so not a big deal if we actually finish this. Like I said, I just kind of like to have a little bit of something. We'll go ahead and just leave it as it is for now, because it is getting to be nighttime, and we'll go ahead and break out our glass, because quite frankly the glass is cheap compared to the dust in the very first night. So that way we can see what's going on out here, watch and see if our tree's grown, plus save ourselves 6 pieces of dust. There we go. And then pretty much you can see if we would have put down our shell constructor right away, we would have already been finished with our progress here. We haven't finished that, but we do have about 2 stacks of dust. So now our goal is to get 24 pieces of stone. That's actually going to get us to our very first half slab and start getting us closer towards the cobblestone age. You're going to hear a bunch of the stuff spawning here in just a minute, and I'm probably going to go ahead and wrap up here in just a second. I wanted to give you an idea on how to get that quick start going. That's how you can get a wall up, a trench going, and make yourself a little bit safer, plus have resources ready to go for the very first night, so you don't have to just stand around going, what do I do next? And as you notice, I haven't changed out any of my water yet. I haven't eaten any food yet. As long as you work smarter, not harder, you will be fine in this pack. I know it's a very hard pack, but that's half the fun of the whole game. I know Iskandar did a very good job on making this pack balanced and difficult at the same time. But as long as you know these little ins and outs, I think you're good. Now you can see they're not coming into our little fenced-in area there. If you look up at my mini map, and we're doing just fine there. We do have some wood. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make ourselves a crafting table, or excuse me, a chest. That's the word that we were looking for. Make a chest. We'll put that right next to us here so we can toss off all of our valuables here. Get everything going in there. There. Like I said, you would have these if you were doing the easy route. I was just trying to show you an example of basically going the hard route. That's really the biggest difference between hard route and easy route. You don't get the PB&J, you don't get all this extra ammo, you don't get the tree, or you don't get an oak sapling. The good thing about the oak sapling is you actually get the chance of an apple falling. When an apple falls, you can go ahead and combine that with the oak tree, and you'll get yourself an apple tree. That'll be your first food source of the game. And one of my other bigger tips is always try to get a grape in the very beginning. That way you can actually eat grapes as one food source, make grape juice as another food source, mix them together to make mixed fruit, and then you can also add the grapes on top of that to get grape mixed fruit. It's a very, very good source of food, and very early game too. The other thing you want to kind of try to watch out for is potatoes being dropped from zombies and things like that. When they drop potatoes, those come in very handy. Not only are they a great food source, but they will be good for you later on for using as dirt composting and stuff. They're really easy to grow, very quick to grow. Once you get into, as you can see, as many mobs as we have here, go around the next day and collect all that bone, and you'll be set. Now I'm going to go ahead and do just a few more, and we'll take a look at our quest inventory system here, and we should be good to do at least one more, possibly even 2. I don't think we ended up with a silkworm. Now that's just all within RNG, which is just a random number generator. Random number generator is kind of what everything runs off of. So as you're crooking the tree, there's a chance of getting this or that or the other. Mainly like the sapling or the silkworm or nothing. So that's why I highly recommend you have yourself something to do for the very first night. This actually uses very little to no energy. You can see our food's gone down just a little bit. Our water has been consumed a bit. We're probably actually out of our water in our pack, but you can see we have full bar and others in our inventory space here. So we're going to go ahead and clean this up really quick. Dump a lot of goodies in there. There we go. And then that 8 was actual legitimate for us to use as bone meal. I should have just thrown the other stuff out outside. That way you could have seen what we had originally and stuff like that, just so you can see. It is very possible. I actually play on hard difficulty, all the mods on, with mob griefing off and zombie awareness, all that fun stuff. So I do play as hardcore as possible, and I do the hard route. I have earned myself a shell constructor in my version of the map or whatnot, but it's not something that you have to use. If you really want to go with that, just hey, if I die, it's whatever. But I do stream my world, So stuff happens, you know, you get to talking with the channel and stuff like that, and things tend to happen where, you know, sneaky creepers will, you know, show up on top of a gas. Next thing you know, you're just kind of blown up. So you kind of like to have a little bit of a backup once you get as far in as I've gotten so far. And if you're interested in taking a look at that, you can always look at the description down below. I'll have a link to my channel on Twitch, as well as my Twitter account. If you want to have any questions, that's the easiest, quickest way of getting a hold of me. I'm going to be doing other other videos on this channel in the future, mainly tutorial channels on, you know, how to do this, how to do that, and that kind of stuff. I do like to do educational things when it comes to mods. I do love mods, so if you have any questions about different mod packs or whatnot, feel free to stop by and ask us. We're a very happy community, and we're very easygoing and very easy to pick our brains, basically. Let's put it that way. You can see we do have a ton of mobs going on there. This does have zombie awareness on, and the special AI mobs, like I was mentioning earlier. Doesn't look like any of them are being thrown over. We do have a spider on top of us here. There's a couple of different ways you can go about that. There are small spiders, so I would highly recommend, if you're going to cut open a hole in the ceiling there, that you go ahead and you do a trap door. Let's go ahead and collect what we have here. Put this all in the chest. You can see we have 28, so that's good. I'm going to show you exactly where we're going to go from this point. And it looks like our RNG has been very good to us. There's 6 more bone meal, which is going to come in very handy. I'm going to show you what you're going to want to do with that here in a bit. It's the best tool that you can actually have, weapon you can have in the very beginning. In fact, most people would say till the very end of the game, at least around your base. Now, if you're going into the city, that's a totally different subject. That's a totally different type of weaponry and protection, because the city is no joke. If you've not played Crash Landing, make sure that you have every bit of resource, food, water, weaponry, defense that you can have before you venture off into the city, because if you go out there and you die, well, it's game over from there. So you definitely don't want to lose everything that you've done and have to start all over. It's just not fun. Again, you can see we've lost 1 haunch, but we've gone through about 2 stacks of dust, maybe a little bit more. I really didn't take a look before we started, so I do apologize about that. I'm gonna say we probably have a tree by now. Nope. That'll come here in a little bit of time, because we do have all that extra bone meal. Now, as soon as we get done with these next 4 pieces, I'll go ahead and look into our crafting book and see what we have going on. We'll repair our shovel, make our tool, and see what we can't do for other quests, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up for today. Go, last piece, good deal. Now you can take and actually repair in your inventory right here. So if you just take and kind of put your shovel through a couple times with that, you know, bam, you've got yourself a repaired tool. You don't have to completely repair it or whatever. I'm just giving you an example. Now the next thing, the other good thing of doing these 2 particular things first, is you can make yourself a mattock. And a mattock is a great tool. Again, we're going to have that issue where this shows up, and then this one will later on. We're going to go ahead and go into our tool station, hit mattock, take one of our sticks, which you do not need to make a stencil for sticks. You just take it, or for a wood handle, you just take a stick, and there you go. Take our axe on one side, bone on the other, or shovel on the other, bam, mattock. This will one-shot just about any normal size spiders. If it's a tough spider, giant spider, stuff like that, it might take 2 or 3 shots, but it will one-shot every single normal spider. As you can see, we are at 100%, so if we do die, we have an extra backup. This isn't going to give you another charge, but you are close to it, so once you get into the Stone Age, you can go ahead and start working on the survivalist generator. Let's go ahead and pop all this stuff in there. Get rid of all this. I'm going to get rid of that too, since I said you know, it's not something that we count for us, because we are technically trying to do the hard route. There we go. And you got yourself a camel pack. Now, I'm not sure if the hard route does, you know, increase the hunger or the thirst or whatnot, but again, you should be fine if you were to follow these basic run through or whatnot. You should be absolutely fine. I never found myself having any issues with trying to get anything done here. Now we're going to go ahead and do a 2x2 pattern. That gives us 7, which we need 6 so that we can make our half slab furnace. There we go. We'll take that and we can put that right next to this if we wanted to. And then now we can start cooking anything we need to. These guys are going to die off. I'm going to go ahead and turn the sound down just a little bit, because it does get quiet annoying. There we go. While they're dying off, we'll just kind of take a look out there. maybe grab a little bit of our bone meal, and then in order to save your in order to save the block or whatnot, you have to have a pick. We only have one piece of stick left. I would say, if you were going to do it, you would need to have not only an extra pattern, which we have the wood for, but I'm not going to worry about it right now because it is only one spider. But you would want to go ahead and just go out, break open a block, and then from there you would simply look up and kill them. Very simple. So we did pick up 2 more bottles of water, and that was from our QDS system that we had going on here. And as for the rest of these, you have Desperate Measures, which is going to be Rotten Flesh. We'll pick up here in just a moment. And then you also have your Tools of the Trade. Now, we can pick up our bones as we go out there. The stone hammer we're actually very close to. We have 1 piece of stone and 1 stone piece so far. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and knock this out really quick. Oops, that was bad because that just ruined the generation of that. And again, this is actually a giant spider. Like I was saying, any normal size spider that will one-shot. So it's a big difference between the giant spiders and that size spider. The reason I do like the trench so much is because now they are stuck in there if you did the trench properly. Now we didn't because we didn't have enough time. Again, I was trying to spend a little bit of time going over how to do this and that, just getting an idea on how to get things started. But if you look now, he's stuck. He's not going to be able to get over here. Even as we are now, we're still safe. And today I would go ahead and increase the ability that we have with the trench and whatnot, go a little bit taller with our wall. But that's about it. That's the very first night in Crash Landing. I hope that helped you out a little bit. We got knocked out some of the basics of the quests and stuff. We do have quite a bit of water left over, as well as almost close to a half a bag of water in the camel pack. Still haven't touched our food yet, and this is where you can pretty much keep going, adding more food by doing the other quests and whatnot. And later on I will be doing a tips and tricks on how to survive and how to gain some of the extra food. So until then, I hope you had a great time watching. My name is Game Over. Come check us out on Twitch, and until then, as always, game over. Have a good one. Bye.